Roger Khan is on his way home, mayor gets hands-on in city cleanup, and Moneychangers vent over the murder of their friend. Good evening and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Wendell Jeffrey and I want to thank you for joining us. City Mayor Ryan got down and dirty as he assisted in the city cleanup. Esther Sobers reports.
After several sections of Georgetown were affected by floodwaters on Wednesday, the mayor of Georgetown, Ryan, and his team visited the affected areas. This prompted the mayor the next day to launch a cleanup campaign, ensuring that the drains and the sluice in Princess Streets were cleaned.
In here we started a cleanup campaign in my constituency, which is constituency 1, and this is in Alberton. We did visited South Rumfeld, West Rumfeld, Festival City, Alvystone, Regent Street yesterday because of the heavy rainfall. And what we find is that at these sluices and the pumps, there are a lot of garbage pile up. Bottles, plastic bags, old cloths, chairs, even chairs. Pile up there, so we had to get people to go down there and remove this stuff, and that is one of the serious things. Also, yet we'll have the pump there and the sluice may open, but the drainage in those areas is currently blocked by garbage.
Whilst the water levels in flooded areas slowly recedes, health risks can increase. As such, persons are advised to take precautions during the rainy season. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Moneychanger Aaron Lachman was yesterday brutally murdered with his daughter. Today I visited with his friends on America Street. Here's more. Today, Channel 2 Headline News went to America Street, where Aaron Lachman plied his trade. Lachman is the moneychanger who was robbed and murdered together with his daughter at their home in Better Hope, East Coast, Demerara. As the incessant rains poured down, the friends of Lachman all spoke to Channel 2 Headline News, none of the men agreeing to go on camera. However, as they spoke, the anger and frustration of the men were obvious. Some spoke of the belief that the police is not doing enough to protect them. They lamented the fact that it was only after Colin Hooper, known as Gun Youth, was killed execution style, that the police said that he was the suspect in the killing of moneychanger Prince Philip Allen. The moneychangers wanted to know if the police did not have that information all the time. The men said that they will have to form their own vigilante group. The still grieving and angry moneychangers gathered at the corner of America Street and Water Street, and they said that when they find out who robbed and killed their friend Lachman, there will be serious consequences. One of the men showed our news team where he was shot in his arm and abdomen during a robbery last year on Water Street, not far from Stabrook Market. The men said that they cannot understand why folks would come to rob and shoot them when they are working hard to earn a living. Fear of robberies have caused the moneychangers to stop plying their trade as soon as the sun sets. There was a time just a few years ago when moneychangers worked on America Street, changing money all through the night. That has since ceased. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey. Coming up after the break, Roger Khan is scheduled to be back home next week, and some have mixed emotions of his return. Plus, Colombian hospitals are overwhelmed with Venezuelans.
Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill? Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient. You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants
while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So, let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.ui. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. Roger Can is on his way home, and this is reviving old memories. Here is more. Prime Minister, you telling me that our neighbors in Suriname knew that Roger Can was a drug dealer to the extent to where they shipped him from Suriname to Trinidad, turned him over to the United States government, and that Guyana's intelligence, that Roger Can was nowhere on the intelligence in Guyana as a drug dealer?
I would say he's not nowhere. There are lots of people who I expect are on the list.
Kaichur News is reporting that according to the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, the infamous Roger Shahid Khan will be released from prison this time next week. His release date is listed as July 8th, 2019. The local U.S. Embassy is said to be cooperating with the Guyanese authorities to allow for a seamless transition of Khan back home. Khan is serving time in a U.S. prison in Florida for crimes he committed or had committed in U.S. territories. He was sentenced to 40 years imprisonment on 3 separate charges. However, he has never been charged or tried in Guyana for any crimes. It was widely speculated that Khan had received some measure of protection under the PPPC government. Khan is believed to have been intimately involved with the feared Phantom Squad, a group of mostly males that was known for a series of brutal killings during a period President David Granger now calls the Dark Days. In an interview with Channel 2 Headline News in February 2018, former Prime Minister Samuel Hines suggested that Khan's killing squad was a direct response to another group that was involved in robbing and killing PPP supporters and working to destabilize the PPP government.
This period when mostly Indo-Guyanese, but also maybe some non-Indo-Guyanese who were supporters of the PPPC were being being stolen, things being stolen, robbed from them, and so on and so on. And the IAC and them, I think, have the list on $150 or more million or something. During this period, when when the security forces were being remarkably unsuccessful to capture people, it prompted and it evoked people who said, look, the Guyana government ain't, and the formal security forces don't seem to be or don't want to be capture these people, and they formed their own irregular force.
Hines told me that the PPP suspected that Khan was a drug dealer, but that they did not have concrete information to support that.
I would expect that he had other intelligence.
So
yes.
He knew of Roger Khan and the operation?
I would say that he would have had word of him, yes.
The former president said that while the PPPC government had their suspicions about Khan, they did not have enough evidence to arrest him. Why did he not rein in or sought to rein in Roger Khan?
That's a very good question, a specific question. We'll have to revert back to, we'll have to go through the period and see whether there was such opportunity or an occasion, whether things could be pinned on him, whether you could say that he had done this, he had done the other.
Hines, who also served as a transitional president for Guyana, said in that interview that if the whole truth about Roger Khan was to be told, it is possible that both the PNC and the PPP would be found culpable. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey. Lala Bachan Bachan died on Monday last while in custody at the Saudi police station. Today, Attorney at Law Anandalal said he will take legal action against the state on behalf of Bachan. The police are claiming that there were no marks of violence found on Bachan's body. However, Mahendrani Bachan says that she has evidence to prove otherwise. And now for your regional news. Hospitals in Colombia say that they can't cope with the growing numbers of undocumented Venezuelans who are seeking attention as they flee their crumbling health systems. Migrants congregate in the border towns, which are sometimes among the poorest in the country. Al Jazeera's Alejandro Rampati reports.
Omar Games left Venezuela seeking treatment for leukemia in neighboring Colombia. He urgently needed to be admitted to an intensive care unit, but spent a month waiting for a referral in this hospital in the poor border city of Maicao.
He is receiving basic treatment and medicine, but he needs specialized treatment that we can't get here, and we don't have the money to pay to move him to another city.
His Colombian relatives fear he will die here, and he's not the only one.
At the moment, 45% of the hospitalizations are Venezuelan immigrants.
The hospital's administrator says they are overwhelmed by undocumented Venezuelans fleeing their crumbling health system. Primary care for Venezuelans in Maicao jumped from 632 cases in 2016 to more than 34,000 in 2018 and could reach 60,000 by the end of this year.
And we are seeing an increasing number of patients with complicated and expensive illnesses. AIDS, kidney failure, cancers that we can't care for. It's a complex and dramatic situation.
When the economic crisis started in Venezuela back in 2015, most of the migrants that arrived here in Maicao were young and healthy, looking for basic medicine or vaccines, but that has changed in the last couple of years, and especially now in 2019, with the widespread blackouts in Venezuela that have devastated the health service there. A small cluster of aid organizations are trying to help as cases of measles, tuberculosis and malaria are on the rise. Dr. Miguel Cuello is at a loss for words after 3 babies died here.
It's so bad, sincerely. There are too many factors against us.
One day later, Omar, the man suffering from leukemia, also passed away. His relatives held a traditional vigil. He's the second member of this indigenous family who left Venezuela in the last couple of months only to die here.
We all deserve to live. We're all human beings regardless of where we come from.
It's a sad end for many fleeing an unbearable crisis only to end up in a host country that is severely unprepared to absorb this influx of migrants. Alessandro Ampietti, Al Jazeera, Macau.
And internationally, the Indonesian government is being sued for not doing enough to tackle air pollution. Last year, a study ranked the Jakarta as being the most polluted city in the Southeast Asia. The government has undertaken to reduce air pollution, but a group of 31 Indonesians say that it is not enough and that they are taking the government to court. Al Jazeera News reports.
Jakarta, ranked the most polluted city in Southeast Asia last year. That's based on a study published in March by environmental group Greenpeace and Air Visual, an app that measures air quality around the world. On Thursday, 31 Indonesians took matters into their own hands in an attempt to compel the government to tackle air pollution. They filed a legal action against the president, several cabinet ministers, including the environment and health ministers, and the governors of Jakarta and 2 surrounding provinces.
We shared our research with the government. We told them this is the condition of our air, but all they did was question our findings. They asked, what data are you using? What equipment do you use?
One of the plaintiffs, Adito Hari Nugroho, is a freelance videographer and a keen cyclist.
I use my bike when I go to most places and my lungs have to work hard. I'm not sure what the long-term impact of air pollution is, but I know I cough a lot more when I've been out on my bike.
The biggest contributor to air pollution is traffic. The Air Quality Index, or AQI, in Jakarta reached unhealthy levels in 24 out of the last 30 days, according to data from Air Visual.
A city of Jakarta's size requires more than 60 sensors to read the AQI. There are only 6 here operated by the government. Activists say they also want authorities to apply more stringent standards when it comes to measuring air quality.
AQI readings are based on measurements of particulate matter of less than 2.5 micrometers in diameter, or PM2.5. The government has set the maximum daily level on that scale at 65 micrograms per cubic meter. That's 2.5 times more than the World Health Organization's. Dasrul Chanyago is Director General of Air Pollution Control with the Environment Ministry. He says the air quality is improving, citing government data which showed there were 20 days of good air quality so far this year, compared to 34 for the whole of last year.
By 2025, we aim to reduce the use of personal vehicles by 30%. That should help reduce pollution, and we're committed to making vehicles use cleaner fuel.
But the 31 Indonesians who are taking government officials to court say that's not enough. They are calling for more research, more transparency, and more solutions to tackle air pollution. Florence Louis, Al Jazeera, Jakarta.
And that's all for this edition of Headline News Update. Please tune in Monday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Until then, like and follow us and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube pages, or visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Have a blessed weekend. Bye-bye.